Rational and the equitable use of the water. How can we use cleverly or manage the resources which we are having limitedly, can plan well and use it and get the better efforts or better results? We have seen an example in Maharashtra at a place called Hivare Bazar. This is on the plan of the Maharashtra government, like Adarsh Grama Yojana. They brought this scheme to develop this particular village into a better place. The average, let us see the average area of this place is like it receives rainfall very less, just only 400 millimeters of rainfall. It is like a drought prone area. It is like dry land. How can we develop this dry land? The government has implemented some new schemes and plans and brought some drastic changes in this. Let us see them what they have. They brought continuous contour trenches. They control the private lands as well as the government lands, free grazing and all these things. And they checked continuously wherever there are trenches, there are gaps. They fill that gaps. Wherever there are continuous flow of the hills where there is a possibility of soil erosion, they made some contour bonds to block that one. They started the plantation of the trees, farms, grass to stop the soil erosion and all these things, and formed some major steps. And then check dams were built to stop the flow of water at various places, so that instead of like when it flows through a dry land, the water gets evaporated to the ground levels. So whenever there is a heavy flow of water, they start to build the check dams there. Then percolation tanks. Percolation tanks means when there is a level of water filled with stones like porous stones and all, the water there is a chance of getting it into the down levels. So the land which are not capable of controlling the land to hold a dam, then they went it to the percolation tanks where we can store the water into the underground levels. Then we got many plantations. We got the plantations so that the climatic balance can be brought, so that we can get the good rainfalls and all. So like that they planned very well, and they brought serious rules and regulations strictly imposed on them, like ban on cutting down of the trees. Then free grazing is completely banned, and everybody should have a family planning for them, and they should have voluntarily come up and do this Ramadan for the development of the village. Like that they brought some serious rules, restrictions and some implications for them, and in a short period of time, like by 90s and all, they got some major achievements. It would be a remarkable things like crops. Earlier it was only 7 hectares in the summer season, it was raised to 72 hectares. It is not a small thing. It has 10 times got upper to the normal level. They received a sufficient amount of rainfall. Like in the climate, they got the change. In the entire development, they got the change. Here the major issue what we have is, it's a drought prone area. Now it turned into a good rainfall place. So we can understand the issue that it is addressed very well. At the same time, the milk supply from that village, earlier it was only 140 liters per day. It went on nearly 20 to 25 times. It is like 3000 liters per day. So we can see the village has developed very well. If you manage your resources properly and carefully, you can reach to the maximum extent, and you can achieve some remarkable things. Like a village where it is completely dry land or drought prone land leads to a good rainfall place, where its small farmers and the marginal farmers, their day-to-day life activities have increased. They have developed, their personal incomes have increased, per capita income have increased. The area has brought good revenue source of income, a good place to live there, good rules and regulations are there. Coming to the negative points of the facts of the Indian context, that yes, the felling of the trees was not completely addressed, like we can't get it completely done, and that too coming to the free grazing, it is not at all able to be controlled by the people. Yes, there is a failure in some point, like the free grazing can't be controlled because poor people as well as the rich people have their influence on the grazing lands, and they go on cutting down that and bring their grazing cattle and get it grazed there. But of course they had a remarkable achievement here. So if we plan properly and use our resources rationally at equitable development, definitely we can reach to sustain extent that we can get some remarkable changes, where like a Hivare Bazar would be a good example to address the issue of rational and the equitable advancements or developments. When we plan properly, and if everybody cooperates, the society plans something and government executes it properly, definitely we can get to some point of success where the remarkable changes can be noticed.